Back in the mobile office. So, I saw that Karmelo Anthony's legal team has gone with the self-defense plea, which we all knew they were going to do, especially since he pretty much said it as soon as he got himself arrested, when he turned himself in. And people are mad about this. And I don't understand why people are mad about this. Mostly because, just like in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, it seems that people have this idea that you're just supposed to wait and see what happens to you before you protect yourself, which to me is asinine. Like, and what I say to people and stuff like this is like, okay, just insert yourself into the situation as it is, without any of your what ifs, but I would, and if and that and such. Sitting outside at a public bleacher, at a public event, and a person comes up to you and tries to tell you where you can and cannot sit. Start there. And then, when you tell them, touch me and see what happens, they do it. And then you say, hit me and see what happens, because that's a new detail. And then they do it. And at the same time, you are in the midst of people who you don't know, and the person who just attacked you, because that's an attack, has a twin brother, same size, both of them pretty big kids, because they're both football players, so they're both athletes. What you want the young man to do? Just get beat up? Is that your idea? Or I heard a few people say, well, if he would have threw a punch to match a punch, so now you want him to fight two people who are hanging out most likely with their friends. But let's say, because we don't know who all was there, we do know for a fact it was 3 people. So you want him to be sitting, have someone come over to his personal space, then put hands on him with another person with them while he was by himself, and he was supposed to just not make it make sense. This is why I thank my daughter. Actually, I thank my son and my daughter so much, but especially my daughter. My son's adopted, so I wasn't around him as much as an infant, but my daughter I was. And what it taught me was certain risk ain't worth taking, because you never know how it's going to turn out. And I think a lot of y'all are so suburbanized that you don't have the wherewithal or forethought to think about all the possibles in a scenario, and it causes you to do and say stupid things based on what you saw on TV. So I'm going to give you insight from somebody who grew up in the hood, the ghetto, a stone throw from the projects, 313 Detroit. You don't start fights with people if you're not prepared to get in a fight that could go in the worst way. You just don't. I can give you a pass that you're an immature kid or whatever, but adults have to tell the kids, and this is why I said before, I blame the adults. You have to teach people that you don't know what the other person is going to do. I was always taught, you don't know how crazy the next person is. You don't know what level they are willing to take it to. And the reason why I say I thank my daughter for this is because I didn't know what level I was willing to take stuff to until I had her. Like I said, my son, I came into his life full time when he was 5. So I never had to face a situation where I felt like something could go down really bad, and I would have to like really think, because at that age it's like, okay, they're smart enough to where they can take off and run, or they can go and talk to somebody and say help or whatever. But when you got an infant, you have to think past the immediate situation. Meaning, if I fly off the handle, or if I get in an argument and then it goes to this level and then something happens to me, she's helpless. So What do you have to do to make sure it never gets there? Well, then that means you got to deal with this person in such a way that they are never, ever, ever a threat again. And then you have to contemplate, what are the legal ramifications in either scenario? What are the emotional ramifications in either scenario? What are the long-lasting ramifications in either scenario? And none of them are ideal. And it teaches you to just take a breath and let it go, which nobody taught these kids. But to y'all, that's all. Oh, he could have just, and he could have. What would you do? That's my question. You sitting, you minding your business, somebody comes into your space and put their hands on you when you alone and they aren't. What would you do? Are you just gonna wait, take a beating, sort it out later, or something else?